Hey guys, Mr. Backerberg here. In this video, we're going to look at point-slope linear equations. Now, as we're looking at linear relationships and linear equations, one of the more useful representations that we can use is a point-slope equation. So if we know that our line goes through a specific point, x1 and y1, and we know the slope of our line, we can use this point-slope form in order to figure out what the equation would be. So point-slope form of an equation is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, if we're looking at graphing this out or using our calculator, it can be helpful to get this in a more calculator-friendly form. So sometimes you might see this written as y equals m times x minus x1 plus y1. So the only thing that's happened there is we've taken that minus y1 and moved that over to the other side, just so we have our y variable isolated so that we could type it into our calculator. So in this example, we're going to use that point-slope form to help us write out an equation for a line that has a slope of 5 and goes through the point 2, 3. So that point-slope form, again, is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Your point that you're given, that's your x1 and your y1, and then your slope is your m value. So if I take that information that I've got and plug it in where it needs to go, that would say y minus 3 is equal to 5 times x minus 2. Now I'm going to take this and rearrange it to put it in slope-intercept y equals mx plus b form. So what I'm going to do is distribute that 5 on the right-hand side. So we'll have y minus 3 is equal to 5x minus 10. And then if I want to get rid of that minus 3, I'm going to have to add 3 over to the other side. So we're going to end up with the slope-intercept equation y equals 5x minus 7. Now, depending on the specific problem, they might ask you to leave your answer in point-slope form. So that would be this blue equation that we've got here. But if they do ask you to rewrite it in slope-intercept form or solve to get y alone, then that would be this green equation that we ended up with down on the bottom right. Now, there are other forms of linear equations. So there's slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, which we just talked about. So in a slope-intercept equation, when it's written in the form y equals mx plus b, we know that our line would have a slope of m and that it would go through the point 0b. That b value would be your y-intercept. Now, this slope-intercept form can be really helpful if we're graphing things out or if we're using our calculator to do some work. We've also got a general linear equation, or some people call this standard form of a linear equation, where it looks like ax plus by equals c. So your x and your y variables are both on the left-hand side, and any constant that you might have is on the right-hand side. Now, this general form for linear equations can be very useful if we're looking at a system of equations and if we want to solve it using matrices or some other solving techniques. So each form for our linear equations do have specific instances where having your equation written in one form versus another may be more beneficial. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching.